I prepared some notes for you here today because I wanted to get a message out to you pretty quickly without delay, because I want you to grab an opportunity today to go on a call, on a talk with Tony Robbins, Russel Brunson, and Dean Graziosi. And if you don't know these people, then please, please, please do look them up and look up what they're into together, because this is so key. This is so important, and I really want you to really get this. I'm going to talk around this because you can look up yourself what they are all about. But my question is, and what's been keeping me thinking is my education, and has my education failed me? I mean, the answer is not completely, because it has brought me a wonderful job with the pay, the benefits, and traveling the world, and great mentors, working for companies before. But the education itself, what about that? When I left school, actually for many years I still felt out of my depth, because some really basic skills I did not have. And I felt like, I mean, it was the fact I had to learn everything when I came out of higher education and into a job. So for many years I could not really deliver value, or I always felt that I could not be taken seriously because I did not feel that I could bring the value. I was totally out of my depth. And that begs the question, what is this education, and can we keep this sort of model going? And more, I have a 14-year-old daughter, so what shall I do now? Shall I convince her that she should go for higher education later on and get good grades right now, and think about what that will do for a job and work opportunities, when there may be things that she might study for jobs that may no longer be there, or be irrelevant, or things will have shifted by then, and the skills that she may learn in the institutions may not be the ones that she will need when she leaves that place and goes and makes her own path in the world of work, and perhaps start her own business. This is very much what I would advise her, but I can't force her, of course. So has education failed me? Well, for myself, I also think that fulfillment and happiness comes into this, because I really felt that I was playing a role a lot of the time. And although it was a fun role, I made it a fun role, I made it into a fun place and fun things to do, it was still a role that I played. And it was very hard after a while, because I got more and more detached from my own true value. You know, what can I do? What is from within inside of me? Or am I just a cog in a machine, obviously, but also doing my best at what's given me as a task, or a framework, or a job description? And I think after a while we get so used, or I got so used to playing that role, that the character obviously grew on me. And right now, over the past few years, I really felt like I want to do something that comes from inside of me, from within me, something that I create. Of course, the ideas come from everywhere around me, in my surroundings and my environment, but something that I create from within me, and especially something that nobody could take away from me, because this is knowledge that I have, this is a skill that I have, this is a product or service that I build, and this is not just a role I play, this is the value that I bring, that brings together every vision that I have, every value that I have, every bit of passion, and every bit of helping that I want to do, and value that I want to bring out in the world. It's about that. And to get a true sense of that really took me a while, and it only started when I started my own business. And when I started my own business, I mean in my traditional business, and even then it took me a while to realize that I was still performing a role. So it was only when I started my online business that I realized, hey, I need to reinvent myself here, because I felt like I think this is something that we have to get used to, the idea as well. We're not going to be working for life in the same role, in the same place. There will be a point, where we get bored with things, where the challenge is gone. There will be a point where we achieve there is everything that there was to achieve, or there is a time where something really attracts our interest and we want to go for something different, or the time has arrived where you're teaching other people what you've learned, or your knowledge and expertise is something that you're using now as a part of a bigger group, mastermind, or project to help solve bigger problems. And only people with that expertise that is deep enough, long enough, can provide this sort of value into a mastermind, in a project, to solve a bigger, more difficult problem. So this is where I see things going for me. And I think rewinding, I think we need to start earlier with this sort of mindset and with this sort of attitude, because again, what should I tell my daughter? I think I should tell my daughter to really be aware of what attracts her interest, and then go and seek knowledge, go and seek mentors, go and seek training, go and seek out people who are really crushing it in that field, that can help her to get a deeper, better understanding, have them as mentors, mastermind with people like that. And this is more the advice that I would like to give you. So this is the shift that I'm making, that I feel that we cannot apply the same module of education anymore. And by God, it takes a long time to study. It's often expensive to study, and it often puts you in a waiting room where real life really hasn't started yet, because you're studying, you're going out with your friends, you're studying some more, you're going out with your friends some more, and you're kind of waiting for that period to end. Some people have to work their way through studies, because the studies are expensive, and they need to help to finance this. So they do menial jobs, which again doesn't necessarily, it only helps with the funds and the means to study, but it doesn't actually help with the knowledge building and the expertise, etc. So I think we need to look at a totally different module of education. But I'm not talking about, revolutionizing education and state education and so on and so forth. What I'm really talking about here is that there are already many knowledgeable people, mentors, experts, people who are prepared to teach out there outside of the school system, that all of us can learn from. And I think this is the new awareness that we need to tap into and become part of, as a consumer of that knowledge, but also as an offerer of that knowledge. Because this is what the talk Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi and Russel Brunson will be all about, is how the expertise, the knowledge in my field, in your field, you will be able to apply already and make a business out of it. So this is another stage in the development of our world, is that there is a need for education, but more on a skill level, so that people can learn and apply straight away. There is a need because there are gaps, right? There are new skills being required, and it's not taught quite yet. So, I mean, in the traditional system. So you need to go seek out ways and people and access to that kind of education. So, coming back to the talk of Tony Robbins, Dean Graziosi, and Russel Brunson, I invite you. There is not just you need to look them up on the internet, because they have this initiative going since a year now, and this is their second talk on this subject that you can join. So you will find a link here somewhere around this video where you can click on and then join tonight. Or I definitely invite you also to look up their initiatives together, because it will become clear to you what they're planning to do and what that may mean for you. It may mean that your expertise and your knowledge has a value as a business out there in the world today. And what it is all about is it's about shaping that, is about getting clear on what your value is, getting clear on how to give that a shape, and getting clear on how to reach your ideal customer, client, who will benefit from the value that you're offering and that you're about to offer it free into the market, right? Okay, so just referring to my notes here now. So who are the people that this is for? And I would say it's both for people who already got a good education and those people who don't have a good education. I mean, a good education that already got you somewhere in life will give you expertise, and hopefully together with professional expertise and experience, you'll be able to offer that. But also people that feel that they've missed out on a good education before and that they feel they could have done better in their life. That's also what this is for, because this may help to fill some gaps. This may be your opportunity to tap into knowledge and expertise, and really you don't have to feel that you've missed out on anything. You can actually fill those gaps and do something about it. And more, probably over time, you have developed skills, you have developed knowledge, you have developed expertise, you're self-taught, you have created something which is totally of value, and perhaps even, you know, totally unique, where few people are doing this particular one thing that you're doing. So this is your opportunity to share that and make a business out of that, even though you may not have had what you consider the education that you would have wanted in your life. And this is also for people who start to believe, because I realize this is only a starting awareness. We're starting to believe that becoming self-taught and self-education is now going to be the new norm in this digital world, but also in this world which is fast-paced, changing, right? And where we see things that also strike us, like massive redundancy in sectors due to automation. I mean, I'm thinking about one example is banks, but not only, right? So there are jobs that are threatened. But mind you, I don't want to do any scaremongering here, because this is really more about not the losing the job, but the opportunity to change over time as you progress in your life. Maybe you don't want to do that particular job forever, right? So maybe you feel you have outgrown and you want to change. Maybe you just want a change of scenery, maybe a change of energy, where you say, hey, you know, this is a particular industry that has that way of working that doesn't really, you know, it doesn't really resonate with my energy. You know, I'm expecting something else. I'm expecting something different, right? And you're not feeling quite at home. You're feeling out of place, and you know, you're forced to sit in meetings. You're forced to do a role. You're forced to report to a boss. You're forced to wear a particular, you know, the code and the style, right, of that particular industry. And you've had it with that, right? There may come a time, and with my own life, I've seen that I had to reinvent myself, particularly when I started an online business. It was a case of really reinventing myself, where I said, hey, all the things that have served me so far have really helped me, but now it's not gonna do the trick anymore to make me successful. I need something else that's really going to move me to another level. Otherwise, it's going to keep me, all of my skills up until then will keep me at a similar level in any job that I do. So for me, it was more a case of, hey, if I want to get to a more interesting level of excitement and value and growth and helping others, then I really need to inject a whole new set of skills, knowledge, expertise, awareness. And for that, I needed a whole set of new mentors, new people, surround myself with totally different influences than I had before. And that's what's made me a different person. That's what helped me to reinvent myself. So what are you going to learn? If you look up Tony Robbins and Russel Brunson and Dean Graziosi and their initiative around what they call mastermind and self-education, what you're going to learn is to turn your knowledge and expertise already in a money-making business. You will get good advice from them because they've been in that industry of advising and consulting top people in their industry. But Russel Brunson, who joins here, is also a unique addition because it's not about just having that knowledge, it's then about online targeting your ideal customer, the clients that really will benefit from that. And this is where Russel Brunson comes in because he's the Superman. He's one of those internet super people. One statement of his was, the website is dead. Let's join the funeral of the website. And really what he meant was, we need to build funnels that help people to the product and service much more effectively, much more quickly, and you will be able to market much more effectively your value to the market, to a well-defined targeted group of people who will feel and experience the benefit from what you have to offer. And more than just one product, you'll probably have many different things to offer. And he helps, Russel Brunson helps you to structure that towards the online market and to become successful in generating leads that are truly resonating with your message, with your values, with what you have to offer, so that they are helped in their lives, so that they can make a move and make a serious improvement in their life. And in effect, this is particularly to the small businesses and starters, because these are the people that don't have the huge budgets, who need to be helped with systems and tools that are understandable, applicable, that you can apply straight away and get going and start generating your first monies in month number 2 and month number 3. So that is what's uniquely, what he does with his business, ClickFunnels, and with everything that he teaches, not just his product, but everything that he teaches through his books, through his in-depth experience that he shares with people so freely. So this is what I wanted to share with you today. Don't miss this talk. Register your name, and if you can't watch it for whatever reason, make sure your name is still registered in that system, because hopefully there will be other opportunities to see these people again, or to see a replay, or to be invited and see other information that's going to be relevant. But if you can, then if you cannot join, then ask a friend to record it or record it yourself. But really try and join, because it's such a momentous occasion. I mean, these are just amazing people. I had my training from Tony Robbins himself in a business mastery course, which cost me a lot of money, by the way, but it was so hugely necessary for me, as I said, to really move to another level in my life and in my job. It was so needed, or I was just going to disappear with what I was doing when I started my own business. So this is so crucial. And Russel Brunson, he has also taught me traffic secrets, marketing experts, secrets, all the stuff that is so crucial for me. It will be the same for you when you're thinking about changing your life, bringing value, starting a business perhaps. Even when starting a business is not something that you're just dying to do, you'll see that it's not about business. It's about creating a new way of life where you become fulfilled because you give value coming from within you, from inside of you, the things you know already that you can share. And, you know, this could be something you've experienced. Perhaps you've seen somebody and you help them get over health issues. Perhaps you have assisted people in living more, you know, a fitter life or whatever. Or perhaps you know everything about foods, or perhaps you know everything about construction or financing or whatever the industry is. There's really no exception that this cannot apply to. All sorts of sectors can really benefit from this way of operating. So I'm sure I will talk to the subject more in videos and my emails to come. I just wanted to get you the gist of this, of who this is for, approximately what you can expect and what this is about. And I invite you to Google more and to definitely join that talk with Tony Robbins, Dean Graziosi, Russel Brunson. That's on a Thursday, 27th of February, and that is Eastern time. Still, I don't know the time exactly, but technically it's then in Europe 28th, because it's in the middle of the night, 28th of February. It doesn't matter so much. Just register, make sure you're in that loop, right? Because this is how it started with me. I didn't apply to become an online marketeer just overnight that I got out of bed. No, it was a process. I read, I got information, I got more interested, I informed myself. This is what I invite you to do right now too. Okay, so that's what I wanted to share. Have a great day. Enjoy this journey that you may embark on, because it's an exciting one. It's about reinventing. Nothing ever needs to stay the same. It's okay that we leave an old job. It's okay that we leave a company. It's okay that we don't like to do what we used to do anymore, even if we studied perhaps 6, 7, or 8 years to do it. It's just time for something else, right? And to give ourselves permission to do that. Giving ourselves that permission will fill us with so much power that will be the motor, the drive, that actually will spread over much further than just our work. It will spread over in our families, in our loved ones, in the way we conduct life, in the way we savor life. And that's what I wanted to share with you today. So get a taster of this, get a bit of a taster of this. This is what I'm inviting you to. Take care.